STAKK Nation.
Champions.
Listen, we're not going to waste time on this one. Look at this situation here.
Boom. In your face.
41% of central banks expect to have operational CBDCs by 2028.
Damn, they're slow.
Yeah. You said they're slow.
2028, man. Shit.
I was hoping that these people should take a bit longer, man. 2028, that's too soon for me. You know, let us readjust ourselves. Readjust ourselves from a tax standpoint. Readjust ourselves from strengthening our value, securing our value with Bitcoin. Then have some discussions with the IRS on the tax situation. Maybe Dubai as well. And then you guys can introduce your CBDCs.
You mean land on the moon first before you start introducing some Atlin drama?
Guy, this guy said is CBDC not a cryptocurrency?
Central bank digital currency. It is it's not even.
It's a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It's on blockchain, right?
Well, it's a type of.
It's
a copy paste type of blockchain, but it's not really decentralized.
But it's blockchain.
Yeah.
It's almost like Ethereum. You could say it's not really, like we spoke in that one video.
Yep.
Decentralization is on a scale. You know what I'm saying? It's on a scale, brother. It's on a scale.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean? So you can call anything decentralized.
Yeah, true. True.
You can even decentralize at 1 or at 100. I want to put it, right? Crazy. I mean, this is it. If it's blockchain technology, right? Okay, because at the end of the day, any crypto is blockchain technology. You see what I'm saying? So it's really just another shitcoin.
Yep.
It's really okay, but there are no regulations around this.
The biggest shitcoin of them all,
Shitcoinery.
which is the Federal Reserve shitcoin. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you guys cannot, you guys don't have any regulations. You're claiming that you don't even understand what may be a security or not,
Wait a second,
right?
though.
Because if you can go ahead.
Wait a second, though.
What is that?
According to the U.S. regulations, if we follow U.S. laws, right, the federal government should not give that power to the Federal Reserve to create money and control our money.
Say that again.
The Federal Reserve does not have the authority. It's the U.S. Treasury that has the authority. So you cannot give the Federal Reserve the authority to create a currency. The U.S. Treasury has that power. So you're already breaking the rule by introducing a CBDC.
Here's what is disappointing to me, man. Do you think they know?
I mean, I think they've been slowly switching the old definition of things on people, and people are not really pushing back. Like the U.S. should be a federal republic.
Yeah.
Or constitutional federal republic.
Yeah.
But now they're pushing democracy. The U.S. is not a democracy. It's something they didn't hear too. I think they're slowly changing definitions on people, and like the Federal Reserve is not a federal agency; it's a private organization. But over time, people just run it as if or believe as if it's a federal agency, and they give it so much authority and power. Like those are the things we should be pushing back against. There just should be some things that, like World Economic Forum. Yeah. Nobody voted them into the government, but they make decisions for us. Like we need to start pushing back on this terminologies, man.
But you see, you don't have time to push back at it when you have student loan, a mortgage, a car, and you have to make sure that your ass is at work.
Yep, and kids to feed.
Yes, just to just to be able to breathe. When do you even have time to go and sit down and argue against this thing? Because you're trusting the people that you elect and put there to have your best interests at heart. And I think that the overwhelming majority of people right now do not feel that things are happening with their best interest at heart. Just think about this. When U.S. citizens are in a crisis and the priority is to assist foreign nations,
Israel and Ukraine. Like, come on.
Hey, man. Need we say more there? So, some 41% of central banks that participated in the Official Monetary and Financial Institution Forum, OMFIF.
Oh my fucking Christ.
So, studies said they expected to have an operational central bank digital currency by 2028. Let me just pause here and say that China was the first to do CBDC. So the rest of you are following China. Okay. The survey found And if I'm correct, how China has been portrayed to the whole world for the past how many years and decades, it's like we don't want to follow those people, right? Communists. I mean, we saw Trump's campaign, man. They were harping
America
hard, like,
first, anti-China.
Yeah,
Break all the China trades.
All right, now
You don't have any freedom if it's China. It's authoritarian.
these people were around fighting for what? For capitalism everywhere, right?
Yep.
People, hey, let's keep it pushing.
Another change of definition.
The survey found that the sentiments towards CBDC is CBDC is turning positive, positive, with 30% of the respondents having become more inclined to issue a digital currency in the last 12 months. I will say this: there was that interview which I watched, the one which you sent me with the old guy, and they seem to have some sort of a positive sentiment toward China, and we know that China is on CBDC. So, at the same time, I think if you're in an environment where the government just at least leaves you alone, as long as you're not trying to do any rogue thing to overthrow them and things like that, I think that's what most people want. Just give us the freedom. Let's be chill, okay? And really, we don't want, in the case of America, you want your privacy, right? I will also add there that I think there's a bit of a caveat, because the definition of privacy is maybe something that we as a society all need to redefine in our mind. What are the things that are important to keep secret and what are the things that are not? For example, if I gave someone my social security number, what is the importance of that?
I mean, China has our social security number now.
Yeah.
The whole entire federal government got hacked. IRS,
Right.
GSA got hacked. They have our social security number.
Right. So you take a social security number, then what can you do with it? You can go create a new identity, or open up a new bank account for me.
The story of the social security number is another funny thing, because initially when it was created, it was not intended to be this blockade of an ID that does not allow you to do anything in the country.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to be like a way to identify and transact. But now you can't do anything without your social.
Well, the same way the social security worked, I think now, if you have a crypto wallet and you're able to sign transactions, then it seems like your social security does not need to be the same number attached to you forever. It can just be a revolving address, right?
Yeah.
That as long as think of it like MetaMask, right?
Yep.
When you set up your MetaMask, you just have this one, the secret key to recover your MetaMask.
Yep.
Okay, call that your social security number. If you go now, open up a new browser and set up a new MetaMask wallet, right? You can now get a new secret key. Maybe you call that your
business profile. Yep.
Well, it's another social security number. It's still you.
Yep.
But now you have two social security numbers now, which are your secret keys.
Yep.
Okay, let's say now, Isaiah, well, Kenny, we're about to move some funds from A to B, and we need verification that it is both of us moving it, multi-sig, essentially, right? Well, we can choose to multi-sig with your MetaMask wallet on the first browser or the one on the other browser, right? That thereby itself allows you to be able to engage in transactions with a level of security without necessarily tying you down to that one number, right? And at the same time, without necessarily identifying you, your address, your blood type, how much money do you have, and other things that are connected to it that makes you vulnerable. Because that's what the social security does, right? So the only way now to change that is that we have to let go of the social security thing, because then our information will not be all attached and linked to this one database or number where someone gets that one number and then your whole life can be destroyed.
Boom. But
you heard it here first.
But our federal government does not want that. You know why? Yeah. The excuse, because they enjoy that centralized control.
Yeah, of course.
Because with that social security number, they know everything about you, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why they want to know everything about you is, national security. financial what you call
Sorry
it?
to interrupt. Let me just slow down there because I have to make a comment. It's because they do use that national security thing a lot.
A lot, especially since 9/11.
While we have a whole open border, who is worried about national security then?
All this illegal. Well, let's not call them illegal aliens, but people escaping there. Well, I mean, it is what it is, man. Illegal aliens. And they don't have any.
Well, I don't want to call the people illegal.
Okay, aliens.
But your activity is not legal. If there's process, you follow the process. We carry on.
But they're entering into the country without social security.
They're entering
in millions now.
Yeah, and I think that I want to point out it's not because they always make it seem like it's Mexicans that are coming over. It is
No,
not.
it's coming from the north too as well. There's a lot of white people coming in. It's not just Mexicans and South Americans that are coming.
Guy, there are people
Europeans are coming.
There are people from everywhere going to Mexico and crossing the
Yeah.
border. There is a report out there. I was reading this the other day that it was showing that they had like the agents at the border were able to capture, I think it was like a couple thousand people who were on the known
Terrorist list,
watch list,
coming interest to.
So if they have caught those ones, imagine the ones that they may have not caught, right? It would seem to me that if you are concerned about national security, okay, the threat is not on the internet. I mean, if you're thinking that the threat is on the internet, I think China has already proved, yes, fine, you guys want to handle that, but when you look at a physical threat, which is what most people are worried about, I think that that is.
I'm telling you, man, this whole CBDC thing is connected to so many things, right? So we talk about the social security system. That's another fraud because we're paying into it. You and I know that we might never get that money.
Well, they already told us they think we'll bankrupt by 20. Is it 23? Something like that? Sorry, 2030.
30, right? Around the same time, the CBDC is going to be getting introduced, right?
Yeah, so we're paying money into a fund, into something that they already told us is bankrupt. It's not going to work. So, okay, stop charging me Social Security net.
So, right? So, but now they're trying to find another solution, right? So you introduce the CBDC, right? So like, okay, social security goes dead. Now the government wants to know everything you do on the internet, right? The browser, the cookies, and everything that they're trying to follow you through right now. So now they implement a CBDC, which requires the internet, a digital wallet, right? Which is your entire internet transaction.
Yes.
You're over here attacking people on the web, on the future economy, when the actual economy that is going on right now is getting screwed up with people coming in through the border, with the economy being devastated. Like, you're attacking the wrong things. Allow this technology to innovate. That is not the problem.
But someone might say, or probably them will probably say, there is just some things that you are not seeing, and they have a more big picture of the whole situation, and this is why they believe that this is the best way to go.
CBDC is a response to the Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin is solving a problem that the Federal Reserve has forever screwed us over since 1919, right? Let that solution fix that. The other bigger problem is what you should be pushing your energy towards, not just reactive. Government, we're always reactional instead of strategizing. CBDC is just a reactional thing to Bitcoin. Let Bitcoin solve the problem that it's solving while the government solve other things, like the actual issue with the Social Security. Social Security is us wasting money over bad government spending.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they're going to introduce the universal income crap.
Yeah, now they can just,
Canada is doing that as well.
Yeah, drop.
And they will drop the CBDC with the universal income.
But why would we get to a point where universal basic income will be needed? I think that this is something that we need to all slow down, pause, and ask ourselves, how did we get here?
Not government control, man.
Because the problem is, I think that the issue I'm seeing is that these people cause problems. And then instead of going back and say, hey, this is where we made a mistake, let's correct this, they solve the problem by papering over it with more problems or more garbage solutions that directly lead to more problems, right? Say, you get off the gold standards. Now your money is pretty much worthless. And then now you have a private entity printing the money, and then you've printed so much money in 1 year, which printing money was a solution to a problem that instead of understanding the roots of it and then tackling it that way systematically, you came up with a bullshit solution to print money, and now it has led us directly into more problems, right? where there's so much inflation, a bunch of people will no longer be able to afford things, right? And you cannot fix the problem because you got off the gold standard. You have this stupid lever increasing and reducing interest rates, which is your only two options at this point. It's really your only two options.
Really,
okay?
literally.
There's no third gear to this thing. That's it. And then now you want to fix that by now doing universal basic income. It seems to me, like you start doing universal basic income,
income,
okay.
and then using the CBDC.
Yeah, no, it seems that we are now becoming communist
As fuck.
environment, which is the same thing that this country went and fought a bunch of other countries
Talk
for.
about freedom, right?
Right? Yeah. Now I know some people say, well, in these other European countries, like they get some basic things, free healthcare, free everything.
Shit, man.
People like to use this word free. Nothing is free in this world.
Man.
Nothing is free in this world. I don't know why people
70%
cannot
in
get this through
taxes.
their mind.
Man, they're fucking living for Dubai now.
You know what I mean? I don't know why people cannot get this. Nothing in this world is free, man. It's crazy. It's just how do you want to get screwed over?
Okay.
Find the one that will screw you over in a way that you can bear with it, and then just operate within that environment. It's just that simple, because it is human nature, and you were looking at it on the worst scale in this situation here, right? Look, 17% of respondents ruled out CBDCs, right? So we're looking at, what is this one here?
This is what value they're saying this crap is bringing, right? We want to be financially included in a system that is constantly stealing from them. Oh, the biggest reason why people are motivated for a CBDC is financial inclusion. Crap. Inclusion in what system?
Financial inclusion. Well,
inclusion to get taxed?
Let me roll back and say that, for one, we see that they have now admitted that financial inclusion was not a complete thing. They also acknowledge now that it's a problem. It was a problem. That's why it's on the chart, right? Which also enforces the fact again that Bitcoin brought about this financial inclusion.
We ain't doing it, so now we gotta compete.
Yeah, so you must compete, and you're competing in a battle in this case that you cannot win. But carry on.
Monetary policy transmission, zero, because they know for a fact that it doesn't fix that, and that is the solution that the people want.
Yeah.
They want to be able to move the money to anybody that they want to, excluding the old terrorism situation.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a zero.
Well, I would not even exclude the terror situation, because financing for that type of stuff. If you look at the financing of terroristic activities, up until now, it was not done in crypto.
It's done in commodities and fiat currencies.
Straight up fiat, bro. Like literally, UBS. There is literally a whole documentary that straight up confirms. This is not like it's something that is being hidden anymore. Like UBS is the bank to go to. Is it UBS? Yeah, I think it's UBS.
Yeah.
It's the bank to go to if you want to engage in money laundering.
Yep.
It's not like something that they're like, oh, this is maybe suspicious. So if these guys wanted to finance that type of activity,
they don't need cryptocurrencies. They will capture you. They will use chainalysis.
Yeah, they use chainalysis. The next one that they have here on this preserve central bank monetary policy.
Of course, man. Still create those borders and say, hey, this is my country's currency, like the e-naira.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Excuse my French.
The world is in a different place, man. And I don't think that tying yourself down to one nation at this point in time. Listen, I think that everyone should have, be patriotic, be appreciative of the country.
Yeah, America, baby.
That is taking care of you, protecting you,
yeah.
Right? But at the same time, the internet itself is not tied down to a country.
Nope. It's connecting the world.
Yeah, so we must exist within two dimensions at this point in time, whether we like it or not.
Tell them.
So, with that being said, then, I don't think that we can restrict the users of the internet only into one area like America or something like that. Like, say, China with their great firewall, they don't want you to use other things from outside. But I don't think that has stopped the people from still being able to access certain types of content.
It's not stopping China from buying Bitcoin.
Exactly. So, with that, then, I think this is something that these people need to seriously consider, that the the monetary policy of the internet does not have anything to do with central bank monetary policy.
Nope.
And cannot be controlled by
Central planners.
Right?
Or should be controlled by the central planners.
And especially in the case of Bitcoin, it is bringing monetary sovereignty to the people at large. And that is not something that is up for debates. It's not something that is they can do anything about it. But I'm all for the central bank doing what they can to preserve the central bank's monetary sovereignty. You guys can, you know what I mean? It's like going into one of those your big ass buildings and locking yourself in there by yourself. Go do that.
We've talked about this before. Remember we said that financial flight, monetary flight, happens when your country fails to deliver on what it promises.
Yes.
That is why a lot of people are going to Dubai. That's why we think that the future financial company or financial place to go to is no longer London or New York City, is Dubai.
I mean, guy, they're giving tax. It's tax free.
That's what I'm saying.
Tax free activity over there, brother.
So you won't have to worry about talent flight or financial flight or any of those flights if we are delivering on what we promise. All this Democrat versus Republican. That is why we have these issues. Bitcoin, all this innovation will come back to America once we get our shit right.
You know, speaking of capital flight.
Yeah, capital flight's what it is.
Or bank runs as well. Right? It's I think something was really interesting. If you remember when SVB shut down and all these things, and it actually went bankrupt because of a bank run.
Yep.
But the interesting thing about it was not like a situation where you had people standing outside. You know, you can access your bank from your phone now. So the bank run was happening on the phone. People were just withdrawing because SVB did not deliver, right? What they promised they would be able to deliver. Which is at the bare minimum, is the intellect to not carry that type of money and go put it in some bonds.
US bonds, imagine.
Yeah. So, with that, then in the same way that bank run was happening there, and it was happening all on, essentially through the internet. Some of this capital flight is also into Bitcoin, and we know that there is no getting around that. It's also into crypto in general, which also makes me think that a lot of these hacks is a means to kind of just rip back the money from the people as well.
Give them a reason why to depend on the CBDC.
Yeah, because I think that for CBDCs to ever be effective, or as effective as these people imagine that it will be, to the point where they are fully in control and able to monitor all your transactions, you would have to ban the use of all cryptocurrencies at the bare minimum.
Ban the use of the internet. Literally, nobody can get on the internet. Like, everybody has to be on the internet, or nobody can be on the internet.
Exactly, right? And if you look at the amount of money that has flown into this industry, I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I find it a bit difficult getting to a point where I see someone like Mark Cuban selling all of the Matic and all the other shit coins he has, just because now it's all about CBDCs and we want to go back so we can go fit into the frame of the central bank digital currency so Schwab can tell us what to do.
Mark Cuban himself said that he cannot trust the SEC because SEC does not protect anybody. So he does not even trust the central bankers. It's money and living. Yeah.
So we'll see how that's going to happen. Are they going to force Elon to sell all of his Bitcoins or whatever else, his Dogecoin, to get into, to make sure that he's only CBDC, or he's going to keep getting violated? I find it difficult to see that. At the same time, there's other countries who are like, hey, we don't care about CBDCs, it's fine. Guess where everyone is going to go? To those places.
The Bahamas and I think Jamaica have already tried and they failed. Yeah. And they're like, hey, we're done with this crap.
Yeah. So these guys are going to end up being in the room by themselves, using their CBDCs by themselves. Because I'm listen, if someone can please explain to me how they will capture all of society with a CBDC, please share this information with us. Because maybe my brain has not had that lightning bulb moment yet.
Well, they already said it. Low CBDC adoption is a key concern. You better keep getting concerned.
Actually.
Especially if the entire Department of Justice is canceling 6, what's it call it, against FTX. So
the charges.
the charges against FTX is getting cancelled. We can't even trust the Department of Justice, and now you're expecting us to trust the central banks.
I think this was at the point when things came down to the donations, the political donations.
You gotta cover that shit up.
I remember we did a video on that, and I was like, "Hey, man,
This guy's gonna get away with it.
well, not the getaway part. I said that this guy donated money to politicians. We have now found out that this money was scam money. Will the politicians participate? Right? What did they call it? Accessory to crime.
Yeah, you go to jail for that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're reading your laws back to you. Give back the money and put this man in jail. They should really know other conversations about it. If you should release this guy from prison and keep that money, then we can now 100% say without a shadow of doubt that this governing body is accessory to crime, and a crime against its own people. I don't know how else to put that, man, because it cannot be simplified anymore.
And someone just said they want the CBDC.
Okay.
Come on.
So this part here talks about this low adoption concerns. Is regarding the apparent split between the central bank's reason for waiting to issue CBDCs, which central bank, like you already said, should not be offering CBDCs. For the majority of emerging market respondents, the clear motivation is to improve financial inclusion. They say, what are you guys talking about, man?
Again.
Nobody needs you guys for financial inclusion, man.
No.
Why are you taking on this mission? Let the people who want to be financially included make that decision for themselves. Why are you trying to? It's like everyone must be financially included. No, it's not. It's not what anyone ever asked for. The option, the capability for it to be there can be there.
It's their choice.
It's their choice if they want to be financially included or not. What?
In your buffer whatever you call it.
Who made these people the parents, man? For many developed central banks, it is more of a defensive play to preserve monetary sovereignty. So this is a defensive play.
Monetary sovereignty comes from the delivery of the governmental institution. That is where your money comes from. How well is your economy doing? How well are the people within the economy feel like they are getting what is what? Then your monetary sovereignty sticks within that country.
Yeah.
Right? People are living in America because they don't feel like their monetary situation is safe there.
They don't think it's safe. They don't think it's favorable to them.
Yeah, you're not solving the problem, and you're creating another problem to solve the problem that you created.
Yeah. You want to go to where you're treated in a way that is in alignment with your goals and your vision.
While your money feels safe, while your energy feels preserved.
Yes, because people can ask themselves, why would I work my ass off and make all of this money just to get here, and you guys are trying to tax me back into 70%. Poverty?
Yep.
If you look at the way they treat Elon Musk in this country,
bullshit.
These people are mad.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So interesting one for sure. CBDC is on the way. Any thoughts on this one?
Crack a like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that plan. While you're crack-a-lacking, okay, go ahead and crack-a-lack on the like button, the subscribe button, okay, and share it with your friends. Because 2024 is a year of sharing. Okay, as you can see, there's a share of lawsuits coming Chainalysis way as well. You can see that the central banks want to share their CBDCs with us. But most importantly, Bitcoin is sharing the opportunity for financial inclusion, sovereignty, and
freedom in general.
Preserving your value. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, present out.